Good evening and welcome to Quality. Good evening, welcome to the April Quality of Life meeting. I'm Pat Moore, the chair. Mariama James, our co-chair, is out tonight, but we have a district manager. Oh, Zach Bomber just walked away. He'll be back, but we can start anyway. So the first item on our agenda, we have the first precinct come in every couple of months.
Thank you.
And we have a nice active conversation about what's going on in the area. I'm leaving it up to you. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Officer Michael Rockwolski with First Precinct Community Affairs. A lot has happened in the past couple weeks, but I'll get to that. I'll just go over some quick statistics for the precinct involving crime and quality of life. So overall, in the first precinct, we are down crime significantly. The only thing that's kind of driving it right now is grand larcenies, whether that's retail theft or, Venmo scams where group of 3 to 4, anywhere they look from teenagers to young adult males will come up to you and say, hey, can you donate to my basketball team? It's all a scam. The other one we're seeing is where people are ordering their new debit or credit cards and somehow they're getting intercepted in the mail and people are going to the banks and opening up accounts. Everything else is pretty much down. No murders, no rapes. Robberies were up by 1, but that's mainly just shoplifting gone bad. That's pretty much it involving crime. Quality of life. Mainly the biggest things we see is noise related, whether it's residential, outside, vehicle. We're actually down 10%. Vehicle related 311 calls, we're down 9%.
Right.
And disorderly behavior calls were up 4%, but that's mainly due to Canal Street. So that's a whole nother issue. So in regards to what happened in the precinct, a couple weeks ago, there was shots fired job on Fulton and William Street. We responded very quickly to that. Nobody was injured, thank God. All we know, it would just start over a dispute. Couple kids, they seemed to be of age, let off 3 rounds and ran in an unknown direction.
Could have shot like the baby in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Shot an innocent bystander.
so thank God nobody was hit. Our detective squad is working the case. There is a wanted flyer out for the individuals in question. And then I want to say maybe a day or 2 ago, 2 of our officers were just driving down the street over Miracle Street at City Hall Park. Individual came to the window saying, hey, I just got robbed, or I was attempted robbery with a firearm. Individual was pointed out and they arrested him. So that was good. And then obviously the other one was just a couple days ago with a stabbing or shooting inside the train station right down Broadway.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one.
Yes,
Where? That was the Wall Street, right?
yeah,
It
Broadway.
was on the news the other night.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so it happened,
Yesterday, I think. or the day
Yes.
before.
it might be, yeah. So I don't know too much about the details. All I know is that the individual is still in the hospital.
They said there was an argument and then it was a result of an argument
On the train
that
platform?
happened before they got there, but then it was at the Wall Street station where it happened. At least that's what it said on the news.
That's, I don't know too much about it, so but that's obviously,
Right.
so
Thank
that was
you.
that. Then obviously what happened up in Grand Central where,
And
Right.
Yeah.
The machete.
in the Machete,
It's not in our area.
not in our area, but still, obviously always just be cautious on the trains, I know everybody likes to be buried in their phone, but take a look around. If you see somebody acting crazy, definitely call or text 911. And then you can just move to the next train, avoid them. Another one that we're actually seeing, this is fairly new, is there's a website called 50-a.org. And on that website, you can look up every single member of the NYPD. And it has our shield numbers, what precinct we work in, and even how much we make, and also shows allegations. So what we're seeing is that people are going on this website, picking random cops, calling through WhatsApp saying, hey, this is Officer Rockwolski, Shield 21717. You need to come to New York for a case that we're investigating. So it's a scam. And we don't call through WhatsApp. So they say if you
What
can
can be done to stop the information from?
file a police report, whether it's in your local
No,
precinct.
what can you guys do to stop the information from being exposed?
That's
It's out there.
Yeah, it's already, it's
It is.
public information.
What's
Yeah.
What's the purpose of them doing that?
It's probably a scam to
Nuisance.
either, you know, it's almost like the IRS scam, like, hey, I work for the IRS, you owe taxes,
okay.
but you have to pay 50 grand or whatever it
Gotcha.
may be.
But what's the purpose, I mean, maybe,
Send me money. so
yeah,
you don't
what's the
go
purpose
there.
of it being there, not like somebody, why they're doing it, I can understand why they're doing it, but what's the purpose of your salary's public knowledge, or like,
yeah,
why is the?
I don't know.
Okay.
Unfortunately, somebody made the
Nuisance.
website. Um,
That's public information, so they're trying to scam me out of money.
But that's without affording.
But they're trying to scam the person out
yeah,
of
they're
money.
trying to just pull random people.
Impersonate.
I mean,
Yeah.
older people fall for all kinds of scams.
Yeah,
Not only older people.
Even to have access,
yeah,
supposed to have a foil.
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah, it's the bank or something.
That could be hacked easy.
It's like, Pat, when we have a warrant, we're gonna need you to
Yes,
come down.
yeah, that's what it's mostly seeming like.
We'll bring cash, unmarked bills
Mhm.
in a suitcase.
Sorry, everybody, we can't do
Sorry.
side chatter with the owls. If you do need to, you know, speak separately aside from the meeting, you have to just pop outside, which is fine to do. But the owl just will hear just noise if everybody's talking. The reporting will not work.
Okay,
Another one is pretty simple. Leave your cars locked. Don't, even if you're going into your building, don't leave it unlocked, because there's a pattern going around where it seems to be individuals checking on door handles, and somebody ran inside their apartment, left the car on, and the guy took his car and drove away.
Thank you.
And it was an expensive car, so common sense. I know Canal Street is always a big issue. My CO, Deputy Inspector Fisher, is out there every day, either seizing property or arresting the illegal vendors. He actually, before I came for this meeting, he was going back out there again. It was his third time going out today.
I'm glad.
So he said it looked pretty clean. Everything's on the 5th precinct side.
Okay.
So,
They're just moving to one or two side streets.
yeah. So,
Can I interrupt you? Morton, we just talked about the Fulton Street shooting, so.
Okay.
If you wanna go, would you tell him again, tell Morton what you said about the Fulton Street shooting?
Yeah, that's right around the corner from my house.
yeah, so pretty much all we have right now is that, probably started out as a dispute between people. 3 rounds were fired. Nobody was hit, thank God. The individuals ran away from the scene, but we responded very fast, and up the street, well, I should say down the street, the World Trade Center command heard the gunshots and were the first ones there.
I was there almost exactly when it happened.
Did you see any of the 3 guys?
I didn't see it.
Can you identify anybody?
The doorman of my building caught some of them running away on the surveillance.
Did you get so good, let them have their tape.
Yeah.
I don't have the tape.
No, but you can tell your.
Our detective squad was out there
Was out there,
all day and night
Okay.
and looking for video.
But
So did you get it? Do you know if you have it from his building?
I don't know specifically.
Okay, so, Morton, why don't you call the first precinct and let
Why
the.
don't you just tell them, right? Just
No, the
give it-
video,
No.
the video.
I know, just give them the
Yeah.
address.
33 Gold Street.
33 Gold Street?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let,
I actually have some screenshots on my phone if you want to see it, but the faces of the people were covered.
Oh,
But here's my question. This happened at 3 in the afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon. Kids were coming home from school. I was coming home after bringing my kid home from school. It happened, the police responded perfectly, there was no problem. Everybody did an excellent job. They secured the scene, they were there doing the investigation. But in the days that followed, there was no word in the community that this had ever happened. So if you weren't there when it happened and you knew that it happened, you wouldn't know that it happened. I think 95% of the people who live in the area have no idea that this happened. Now, that's one. Then I would say another thing. A couple
I just
of-
want to stop. Why should they know? And
because I feel like, look, there was a stabbing in the subway on Wall Street the other day. That may have some media, maybe someone saw something, somebody knew something. Someone could go to the police with some information. When it's quiet and no one knows about it, that's my opinion. Somebody can disagree and say that, oh, well, that creates panic, people get excited, whatever. I feel that the community should know if something happened on the block. I want to know, because I take my son to school, he's in fifth grade. And then, the other day, there was a stabbing, in the subway, seemed like a similar type of confrontation, between people on the subway platform, not too far away. I'll tell you another thing. A couple of months ago, my wife was walking on Fulton Street, and we reported this to the police, as a police report, everything, and there was a guy who dumped a caustic
Substance.
liquid on her head, snuck up behind her, under the sidewalk bridge on Fulton Street. The detective has the whole report. I've spoken to the detective. And apparently this guy was also doing, or some guy who doing something like it, was doing this at Stuyvesant High School to some of the students who were coming in. Now, my wife is Asian. The students who were picked on at Stuyvesant were also Asian. No one in the community knows about it. So these things, and while they have surveillance photos of the guy who dumped the liquid on my wife's head, unfortunately, it was all right. We took her to the hospital, they cleaned her up, and she was fine. And the same thing happened to the daughter of a fairly prominent member of the community over at Stuyvesant High School. They have surveillance images of the guy who did that. No word in the community. No one said, oh, this guy did this. Look out for this guy. If you see this guy, call the police. Everything, and I'm sorry if I sound like I'm a little bit excited about it, but it's like, if no one knows about it, no one can help. And I think that when something happens in the community, people should know about it. So if there's somebody knows something, somebody saw something, they say, if you see something, say something. So
But
if
the
you see-
police have been canvassing, so if somebody did see something,
There's no way I disagree. There's no way the police are gonna contact everybody who might
no,
have
they
seen it.
can't.
So the shooting, it was a major thing. It never even appeared in any media that I ever saw.
Yeah, it was on the news.
What? Well, if it
That's
was,
how I found
it was briefly on the news, but,
And I saw it on the
But,
news, even though you had told me about it.
so anyway.
All right, so
That's just
you know,
my-
before, I had said to you, I suggested that you go it's this Thursday, next Thursday, the police council meeting.
Yes, the third,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and talk to our captain about it and, see if he has any suggestions. But okay, we just need to,
One thing, Morton, that might be of interest, you know how I worked with fellows to get the 311 data tracker on the website? So we are looking to pull in other open data sets. And, reported crime data was something that I was looking to do. If we have the resources for it this summer, that's something I want to add to that so that we can look at, district-wide, all the crimes that are happening
What type of
and
code.
potentially see patterns and have, maybe a weekly or monthly dashboard or something like that. So I agree
I'm
with
not-
you in many respects.
I'm not someone who thinks just because there's one incident in the community, the sky is falling and this is the end of the world or anything. But I also feel if there is an incident in the community, there's no reason to keep a lid on it so that people are not afraid. People should face up to reality. This happened, and maybe the police can get the assistance of the community so it doesn't happen again.
yeah, so Captain Fisher might have some, I don't know how to do it, but he might have some suggestions on what to do. Like, Deb?
Just one more thing. Next month is the AHA and Bloomberg Run. So it's gonna be on the Bloomberg runs on the 13th and the American Heart Association runs on the 14th. If you can, avoid driving in Lower Manhattan that day. It will be
It's on our
a cluster.
website. It's, right, it's on transportation committee, the hard one, I know, we discussed.
Put it on it last month.
And the, what's the
May,
other?
right?
The Bloomberg Square Mile. That one's not as bad.
Anybody else on Bloomberg for a mile? I've never.
It's down by the,
Okay.
yeah, it's down by the seaport. It's literally just like a giant rectangle.
May 16, right?
Uh,
17?
It might be the 13th or 14th.
13, 14.
Yeah.
Of May?
Yeah.
About a month ago, there was a fairly serious pedestrian accident on Hudson Best Street. Any sense of that? Was anybody charged? that come up at all?
I could look into it. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were there, Port Authority Police were there.
That's
Sure,
true.
we were trade that, right?
Do you know the exact date?
While you're doing that, anybody else have anything?
Well,
Yes?
there's a couple of apps, like the citizen app, you know, you check with, I check it, see what's going on in my neighborhood. And then there's another app that lets you know more.
Notify NYC.
You know, I deleted the
Mark,
citizen app from my phone because I don't wanna hear about every last crazy
But
thing
you
that's.
have control over that, you don't have to. But anyway, that's another.
Do you guys still have that like community service branch that Adams had started? That go away with
The Q team?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we still have that. They're out there every day. They're mainly targeting Canal Street. But they also do answer 911 calls involving, you know, larceny, everything like that. So they're still, their main function is answering 311 calls, quality of life conditions, but they still also answer 911 calls as well.
Do you know about the brouhaha down at the Battery with the ticket sellers?
Yeah.
I know that's where I believe Deputy Inspector Fisher is working
No,
on.
that's right, I forgot he's not captain
Yeah.
anymore.
I believe he is preparing for that because it is gonna be a busy summer.
But there was a big, some sort of, was there a shooting and a fight that took place last week down with the vendors? But anyway, so I know, we all know, we prefer.
Sunday,
Yeah.
Sunday, there's a big fight between
The vendors
three
themselves.
of the different vending companies, fist fight.
I'll look into it. I'll see what was the outcome with that.
I mean, it's an ongoing issue, it
Yeah.
has been for years. Yeah.
At least one of the guys got beat up pretty bad.
And you already talked about the shooting, so, and then I told you about the vendors, so there are more vendors. Vicky texted me as I was coming in, that on our side, the Manhattan side, the vendors are back on the Brooklyn Bridge.
So even when it's on the Manhattan side, doesn't the Brooklyn precinct handle the bridge or no?
Well, that's been a debate, I don't know, the 84th precinct,
I think the Brooklyn Bridge is there.
is the whole bridge is there?
The bridge is there.
Okay, because I thought you guys met in the middle.
No,
No? Oh,
No.
okay.
Road.
Okay. And I had brought up at the police council meeting that the vendors in the plaza over here, you might just remind, and what is the full title?
Deputy Inspector.
Deputy Inspector
The Park Road
Fisher.
Plaza?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's filthy again. The food vendors,
City Hall Park.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of, like last week or something, we walked out and they were, which I
You guys have done some operations there though.
Yeah,
I've seen,
Yeah, our
your
QT
team and parks there, anything to.
Yeah, I know.
on that?
I know sometimes we do like a joint operation with them, just because it makes it easier, because the parks, like, nope, sorry, you gotta go, and that's how we'll do that. But I will definitely let our, Q team sergeant know about this.
Yeah, Sergeant was there.
And then, is there anybody else with any other questions? Yeah.
But they're your precinct council meetings.
Usually they're the last Thursday of every month, so the next one will be
Sixth of
April 30th
Thank you.
At the law school,
at New
We're
York.
not-
Oh, yeah.
tell them we're not in the precinct anymore.
Yeah, it's at,
Law school across the street.
Okay.
at New York Law School, yeah.
Yeah, it's the 23rd. And so this group here, they're all from a new shelter that's going to be in our community. So you all will know one another. The first precinct is our precinct. And Jamar, you know that. Yeah, so if you have any questions, you want to ask anything, you want to have anything taken back to the precinct, and that's your opportunity. Not,
Not yet,
got
but
it?
soon.
Got it? Okay.
The one on next to, Pexlip School, right?
No, that's not that one. That's the
Oh.
Pearl Street one.
Oh, that's Pearl
This is
Street.
the one on William Street,
Oh, okay.
next to the defunct bar that, across from the plaza. you know,
Oh, okay.
Across diagonally. Oh, next, across from, what is it, St. That's not St.
Well,
St. What's the church?
28 Liberty Street,
What's the church?
Oh, okay.
One Chase Manhattan Plaza.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but what is the church that's across from on Park
Yeah.
Street? So just in case they have any issues.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
Anybody, anything else? Anybody? So thank you.
No problem. Thank you, everyone.
See you in a few months.
Yes.
I won't be at the first precinct council meeting this month, so
Okay.
next month, I think.
I won't
Once
be
I'm out of town.
training up then.
Okay. Be safe out there.
You too. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye. So now, sorry that we started late. It's all yours. So you introduce yourselves, let us know what you want us to know, and then we'll ask questions.
All right, so thank you for having us, first of all. I'm Jamar Hooks, I'm Deputy Commissioner of Intergovernmental and Legislative Affairs at PSS. PSS includes HRA, the Community Service Administration, and DHS, the Department of Homeless Services. We're here to talk about Dr. Alisea Residence, which is an adult family shelter. I'm joined by my colleagues who will introduce themselves from DHS and DSS, and from our provider partner, Highland Park. We plan to walk you through the programs and services, provide an overview of who Highland Park is, and let you know how we intend to be good neighbors. After our presentation, we're happy to take any questions that you may have. And I'll pass to Yuri to introduce.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Yuri Sanchez, the Assistant Deputy Commissioner here at DSS Intergov, and I'll pass to Johnson.
Hi, everyone, Justin Bennett. I'm also Intergov, DSS.
Good evening, Daniel Nicholas, Assistant Commissioner, Shelter Operations for DHS. I've been working with Highland Park.
Good evening, Sonia Russell, Deputy Commissioner for Public Services, for adult shelter. I'll pass to.
Keith White, Senior Director of Programs for the Fire Park.
Ms. Ryan, Operation Reporter, Experience.
Hello, everyone. Janira Rivera, Director of Social Services for Dr. Alisea.
Hello, everyone. Roger Prince, Program Director.
Welcome.
Good evening, Lisa Snyder, Senior Director of Highland Park.
You were over there, I didn't see you. Hi, welcome.
And I am William Ruiz, the maintenance worker.
No.
The Executive Director to Highland Park. I want to thank Madam Chair, District Manager Zach,
The co-chair is here now.
and everyone that's on the board. Thank you so much for inviting us here. We're very excited to share what we have. And we definitely are looking forward and partnering up with everybody in this room.
And we're your neighbors because we all live in the
We are
neighborhood.
neighbors. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So I guess I could introduce Highland Park. Highland Park is, it was a Brooklyn-based organization about 6 years ago. Now we are in 4 different boroughs. We started back in '98 with senior programs, after-school programs, in collaboration with Congressman Ed Towns and also with Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez and all the politicians up in Brooklyn. Back in 2007, we decided we were approached by DHS to run a program in the East New York, in the East Flatbush section up on Tilden, a family shelters with children. And that's always been our drive. Now we're moving into a different direction with adults, seniors and young adults. And I have to say that it's been a great journey. It's been great dealing with DHS and their intergovernmental department as well. They've been very helpful. They're amazing. And them, I guess I'm going to turn it over to my senior program director, Mr. White.
So I'm gonna go straight into the facility that we're actually going to be overseeing. It's an adult facility where we have about 276 units. Adult families with 276 units. We're gonna be offering many services in regards to housing placements. We're gonna be offering social service in regard to case management. We'll also be ensuring that the client is well prepared, transitioning them into permanent housing. We're gonna also have 3 meals per day in regards to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have a full security team. We have a maintenance team. We're gonna have housing specialists where they're gonna ensure that the clients are going to be ready for permanent housing once they transition out. I'm going to now introduce my actual team, which is Mr. Prince, who is going to be the actual director of the facility, where he will be overseeing the facility, ensuring that everything is run the way it's supposed to in regards to VHS and OTDA and everyone else in regards to the standards. I'm sorry. So the first slide is going to be identifying what we're going to actually be doing in the facility in regards to ensuring that the family meets what needs to be met in order to.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Is it adult children? Our understanding was families with adult children.
No,
No.
it's adult families, which means there are families sans children. So everyone that makes up this household are over the age of 21. So there are no children at this.
They don't have to be related.
They have to be related in some respect, or there's a medical dependency. Where it can be a husband and a wife, it could be domestic partner, a mother with her adult son, adult daughter, grandmother with their grandchildren. So as long as there's some familiar or medical dependency, but there are no children at this.
No, so I was right though, it's adult children.
Adult, yes.
Yeah, adult, okay, that's what we get her. Thank you.
Is there a firm commitment to families? Because we've been told families many times, and then all of a sudden there's a switch and it's like only single men or something.
So I don't want to go on record and say anything with great certainty, because as you know, the Department of Home Services, we meet the needs of our city. So while it may start one way, sometimes it swings the other way. But as of today, it is a commitment that we will open this site with adult families. So that will remain our commitment as we move forward with this. Just to let you know, while it is, as Mr. White indicated, 276 units, we will start out with 200. So we will commit to opening right now with 200 units.
In terms of fair share, is there ever a time when we would say this neighborhood has enough of these men's shelters? Because that's like all we've ever had. We've wanted the kind like we spoke of with the unhoused children. We've wanted women. We never get it. We just men's shelter after men's shelter after men's shelter in this community.
So we conduct a fair share analysis, but if our capacity meets require that it's an adult family shelter, then we'll open an adult family shelter. But oftentimes the challenge is single adult men. And the capacity needs are strongest for that population, and so we are required to open. We have a mandate, we have a court order, but we're required to house everyone at needs shelter, and so we have to make sure that we are able to accommodate that population. So it's typically more single adult men, which is why we have more single adult male shelters. But our goal is to proliferate shelters across the city, all types of shelters. And so we hear you, we understand your concern, but it's dictated by.
When you're looking at a map, you can say, oh, okay, we got 2 shelters to do. One is men, one is women. Lower Manhattan has, or Community Board 1 specifically, has like 5 men. Let's put the woman one there for a change, put the men one over there.
No, fair share doesn't dictate a
It doesn't.
numerical, there's not a numerical list number that's tied to fair share.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, because I know you probably want to do a presentation. We're run rurally around here, sorry. So how are you starting out? If you have 276 units, you're gonna build 276 units in the former hotel?
There are already rooms in that hotel.
And there are 276 of them?
Correct.
And they're without any kitchen or anything?
Meals will be provided.
Meals are provided. And so you're just gonna close off 76 and just start with 200?
Yeah, for the most part, yes. We're gonna start with 200.
And then you'll open the rest as needed?
As needed.
Okay. Are you gonna have medical
I will
staff?
have the provider.
No, we won't have medical staff on site. It'll be more referring the clients in the community in regards to those type of services.
So maybe you can join us in the argument that we're becoming a hospital desert. We only have one small hospital down here. And on the west side, I think there's nothing else until like the fifties. And on the east side, aside from Gouverneur Hospital, which is in a full service hospital, there's nothing until Bellevue. So getting new residents all the time, housed or not, means, again, an additional, I hate to call it burden on the hospital, but, you know.
So just to piggyback off of that,
Mhm.
what happens is if they're coming from different parts of the city, they already established somewhere else, right? So if I'm from Bushwick and I have my doctor there, right?
I agree.
I'm gonna go back to Bushwick and
I
go
see.
get my, but as far as emergencies, I can see it, you know, being that as a conduit.
Mhm.
But as far as referrals, if we have someone that's from the Bronx that came, we definitely gonna spread them out New York because they feel comfortable that way, right? Sometimes they don't wanna change a doctor from Manhattan to the Bronx or the Bronx to
None of
Manhattan.
us want to change
So-
the doctors.
So that, you know, that remedies that.
Okay,
But I understood your concern and we'll pass that along to our colleagues.
thank you.
Medical, you'll have somebody on staff that will be able to do an assessment to make the referral, right?
Yes.
So, case management.
And you,
And that's
if someone's having a heart attack or something, you have, you know, CPS, when you have.
Yes.
All our employees are required to take those
Oh,
trainings.
good, good, okay. So there's an emergency.
In addition to that, we have security staff that will be on standby.
Tell us about your security.
Yes. So I have my security coordinator here that can elaborate a little bit more in regards to security. However, we do have a security team 24 hours within the facility that does perimeter checks inside and hourly checks. But he'll get into,
Well, before you go, Mitch had something.
For the 200 families that are there, what is the process of them being referred to you guys? Because I know it's just not a walk-in shelter, so I was just curious how those families are chosen.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
That's a very nice watch.
Oh, thank you. The adult families would go through intake. So it is at intake where there's an investigation.
Right.
And after that investigation is complete, then they will be assigned to a program shelter. So whether it is Dr. Alisea or somewhere else within the boroughs is where we will,
Okay, so, and then just one follow-up question, and just help me, because I'm not sure of the terminology. I know in one of the other men's shelters, what was it? It was a high threshold or a low threshold. It had to do with the sexual offender, the different grade that they were allowed to be there.
Oh,
What was that?
I don't know about the threshold.
Sarah
but they had
compliance,
to-
so-
yeah.
for our shelters,
Yeah.
we follow as it deals with the SARA compliance law.
Yeah.
So if your shelter, this particular shelter is identified as being SARA compliant, which means that we're not allowed to place individuals who have a restriction based on their offense within 1,000 feet from the school. So we work with docs, they let us know, given the address, that this place is SARA compliant, and as such, we will not place this person at that location. So again, depending on, that person's offense, if they are deemed not appropriate for that shelter, because of that status, they will not be placed there.
Because you have a preschool right down the street from you.
Correct. So we give that information to them, and they'll let us know which, shelters we can place our clients who have that. And we recognize that being a challenge for those who have committed such offense coming back out into society. But we have to provide shelter nonetheless. But again, they will not be placed at those shelters where we have schools within 1,000 feet as been by.
Thank you.
Back to your presentation.
I know he was gonna skip.
Security. We're gonna go to security.
However, I just want to keep going with the actual slide. If that's all right.
Yes. So once a family is sent to us, we will do an intake, and that's where we can get a demographic of the family and assess the need of the family. And the family will create an exit strategy at that time to see how we can help the family. They're required to do a bi-weekly, they will meet bi-weekly with the case manager, and we set the goals and the strategy is to see if we can exit them into permanent housing.
Exit strategy.
Yeah,
Okay.
the exit
That's what
strategy.
this
So
is.
they would be working with the family, and then as the intake will come, we will know if any medical needs are referral will be made. Any employment, then we can assist with employment and such as things like that, we can do for the families.
And also education.
Yes.
Education. So the Dr. Alisher name is actually the founder of Boricua College. And I work very closely with the school. So we will be doing an assessment on where the education level is at to see if we could enroll them either in a GD program or even try to see if some might have high school. I mean, everybody comes with different degrees, right? But nevertheless, we will try to, merge them into that school, enroll them into the school, which is one in Williamsburg. And then there's one up in the Bronx and this part of Manhattan. But also I will be looking into Pace University here to see what they offer, to see how we can partner up with them as well.
The BMCC, senior moment, BMCC.
Right, that's the
Yeah.
public school.
Chambers Street, then below
Okay.
that,
Chambers. Also vocational training?
We would actually try to do as much as we can as well.
I used to teach at Boricua. I used to teach there.
Where?
Washington Heights.
And Boricua College,
There's 155th, right?
155.
Fantastic. So,
Just like a consistent, effort toward putting the people into permanent housing.
Well, the
Yes.
goal, right, so the goal is to make sure that they self-sufficient before they leave, right? We have a very good rate of them not coming back to Highland Park.
Wonderful.
Because we get what you call an SPS, and I look at it, I review it with my team, and trust me when I tell you, I'm very anal, I'm very strict with things, and if I see a person that's been there too long, we're gonna have a conversation on why that person's there too long, and how can we help that person out.
something?
How long are they there for? What's the?
Like on average.
It varies in regards to the actual family. You can have a family that can come in today and leave next week. It all depends on what's going on within the family and what they have at the time. Some families could be employed, some families could have different, families that might take them in, family unification, or again, it all depends. All depends on the family status.
I'm having problems with family. In terms of what does that consist of? Because there's individuals and there's families. Do they come in as a couple? Do they come in as three people together? And so that's 3 rooms, that's a family.
No, so they come in as a family and the rooms at this location are quite large. So as a family, for example, if Commissioner Nicholas and I were married and Keith was our adult son, we would be in one room. We are one family. So we share a room together.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the city of New York, as we all know, as being New Yorkers, we do not have that footprint that would allow us to have that many units when we think about the number of individuals that make up a household. So while Mr. Nicholas and I can be in a relationship, married, and we have 4 kids, all 6 of us are in that unit. Now, depending on the size, so it may be that they're in 2 different units, or they may be in 1 unit.
I was
depending
gonna
on
ask
the
if you
size.
have a limit, is it like
It's
no
like
more
a
than
square
3,
footage.
no more than 4?
So the square footage is what dictates how much we can put in that room. So we're not gonna put 7 people in the room if the square footage doesn't allow for that.
Okay,
We
so what
would
do you,
put them in
how many,
I'm sorry? The rooms are huge, let me tell you. Think about
I
hotels.
just want to get an idea in terms of numbers. Yes, the room.
It can vary from 2 people make up a family up until 7 has been our top. So we have some that are families of 2, some that are families of 7.
When you say using 200, that's 200 units, that's not 200 people. So it could be 3 people and 200 rooms. Okay.
Well, right, but not every room will hold
Three people.
family
Right.
that is 3 or 4 people, right? So majority of the rooms at this facility are for a couple or family that is 2 people. And then there is a room on each floor for a family that's 3 people and a family that's 4 people.
Does it have a breakdown in terms of how
Do
many?
they have pets too?
So we don't allow pets, but we do allow service animals and emotional support animals for those who have that need.
How do you assess?
So, emotional
Have to be
support
certified.
animal has to go through what's called a reasonable accommodation. So they have to fill out an application, provide supported medical documentation, which is reviewed by our clinicians. Based on that documentation, and they will assess whether or not this meets the criteria. The service animal, we asked them 2 questions at the front door. So if they were to present at AFIC, which is our adult funding intake center, they asked 2 questions. If they answer those questions appropriately, then that service animal is allowed into the facility. We do ask for inoculations and license and everything that ensures that that dog has all the necessary shots and license to be, you know, in a congregate area.
Diane has a lot.
Oh, when you say a family of 7, would there be 7, what's the capacity in one room? And are there walls, like if you have people of the opposite sex? You know?
So the hotel is like a hotel, think of a hotel.
It was a former.
So everyone has an individual room. And depending on the size of the room and the size of the family, it will dictate whether or not they get 1 room or 2. So if it's only 2 individuals, of course, it's only 1 room. But if it's a family of 6, we may need to put them in 2 rooms if the rooms are not large enough to accommodate all 6 into 1. So we've not had a room ever that big to put 6 in 1 room, to be honest with you. We've always had to split that up because the rooms are not but so big. And again, we have to do it based on the square footage. So we're not gonna cram people in a room where, you know, there's no movement, you can't move around. So we will use multiple rooms if needed and or if necessary. So a family can consist of 2+ individuals that make up a family unit.
But everyone is over 21.
Correct.
Can we go on with the presentation committee or?
Yes, please.
Back to the presentation.
So now we're gonna address the security department.
Yeah, so we maintain.
It's a little louder, please.
Yeah, so we operate on a full scale security. We don't in-house, I'm sorry.
Why don't you come to the table
Right, okay.
so that I'll pick up your voice?
Thank you.
Thank
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we don't outsource our security. We meet with DHS and OTDA to acquire maximum security for the residents. Well, we do operate 24 hours, 24/7 security service. Staffing does report to the security officers reports to the security supervisors. Supervisors then report to the operation coordinator, which is me. We can communicate through 2 radios. We monitor 24-hour surveillance. We are effective with sign in and sign out sheets.
And our security is all in-house staff. We don't outsource anything because it's easier for us to control the narrative of the security team, which just happens to be our biggest department. If I'm not mistaken, I looked at my numbers today, in that one building alone, between everybody, we'll have about 122 employees.
122.
Right, I'm adding, as of June 1st, I'm gonna have about maybe a little over 50 people of security.
In
Security
security.
in that particular location. And I'm sure at some point you're gonna be asked, what kind of, would you provide the training? for them?
Absolutely.
What does that look like? What is it?
Well, no, absolutely. Well, they have their own training. We deal with ADP, they have also training, but we also link outside with outside security schools that they also have training as well. So it's a constant training. I think we have a training coming up pretty soon, which is the LL 124, which was provided by city council. It's a 40-hour training. It's a mandatory training that needs to be done. And again, training never ends because you're always learning something new, right? So there's always new laws, and we always welcome anybody that has a proper license to come and train our staff.
So Mr. Myers is also gonna go into detail in regards to coming into the facility, like, to see, in regards to security, where to prevent certain things from entering and going upstairs. So the type of equipment we will have at the site.
Before you do it, can we just go back one step?
Yeah.
So you have 50 people that are gonna be doing security,
As of June.
that's total. So how many how many
Shift.
per shift? Thank you.
According to shift, it's gonna be about 9 security guards per shift, and we're gonna have 3 shift supervisors. So total is gonna be around 9, 10, or 12 in regards to providing coverage.
I'm sorry, 3 supervisors per shift?
Yes,
So that's about 30, so what about the other 10 to 15, the other 14, security people? But you said you'd have about 50.
right, so what happens is that we have to keep in mind about the weekend coverage.
Oh, sure.
It's 3 different shifts plus the weekends.
Okay, plus,
Yeah.
thank you.
And how will they be stationed?
So,
Most staff are, all staff will be stationed on the majority of every floors.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
So most staff will be, staff will be stationed on these floors, also conducting, line patrols, interior and exterior patrol as well. As far as, entering and out, exiting the facility.
So after you tell us about the entering facility, then I have some other questions.
How will we be operating? We will have metal detectors, X-ray machines, anything that's something that contraband, weapon, or any other prohibited items. We also will be, frequently, monitoring, the sign out units. We will be also, and we using hand-on as well, as like that.
Any visitors to can people bring visitors in?
Our visitors cannot come into the facility. However, any visitor that does come in, we do, visiting having like,
An attorney or.
yes, sorry. Yeah,
Like a professional visit?
Yeah, so any and everybody have to sign in as well to the facility as well, so, just to keep in mind, so.
If I'm sorry. If something, that's unpermitted is found in your metal detector, whatever, is it just like taken away, or is the person like not allowed to come? Like, how does that work?
Yes, we separate, restrict the items from them. It's not that they not going to be able to come into the facility, we just have to take any of the items that come into the facility.
They get-
This is to prevent any danger or anything that is not.
That person would get case conference with the caseworker, letting them know the rules and policies of do's and don'ts. On top of it, all our security officers will have a post. They will have to, and we do it today, they scan, there's a QR code scan. I get it on my phone. I get reports on my phone. Mr. White gets it on his. All the directors get it, so, and me, I'm constantly seeing who's doing what. And trust me when I tell you, I question people. So, my wife thinks I'm, I can manage, but at the end of the day, it's my name on the bottom line. So we do monitor. I know when you were there, at what time you were there, because we all have that application as well. On top of it all, we also have cameras on our phones that we can, do surveillance remotely, no matter where we at.
You don't see inside the rooms, do you?
Not inside the rooms, man. No, not inside the rooms and not inside the bathrooms.
Only the interior.
Yes.
I'm sorry, so in the
Interior,
public spaces?
Some public spaces.
Yes.
Jared?
are the weekend shifts? No, same policy and procedures for every shift. Might change it. That was security, now we're going.
So on security, we have some more questions. We have questions for you. We've done this before. Let's talk smoking. Oh, yeah. Big issue. We have had this conversation with other shelters in our community. So talk to me about what you're gonna do about smoking. You're right across from Folsom Plaza, big plaza that has a sculpture in it.
Yeah.
And so I don't think there's any smoking allowed on the plaza, but certainly.
Well, no one should be smoking in around the premises of the building, right? People smoke cigars, people smoke, cigarettes, whatever they smoke, but, we encourage everybody, you can't do this here. And if there's any hot spots that you could tell us where should they be smoking, like the plaza, then that's something that we could add.
Yeah, see if you can find out. I don't remember whether you can or you can't, but see about the plaza.
Right,
And there is also a preschool in there.
okay, and yes, there is a preschool.
And, yeah, this is an issue that we've had with, a lot. And it's an ongoing
Yeah.
issue. We just had a meeting with 105 today, so.
Well, especially when it comes to marijuana, there's something.
Well, it's legal, but they have to, I mean, it's not that it's not legal, it is legal, but they have to know where to smoke it
Right.
because the neighbors in the community get very upset.
I even see Commissioner Tish looking for little corners and stuff and places to go into.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just cigarettes, yeah. Police commissioner.
Yeah.
So we'll try and help you with that. We'll try to
Yeah.
partner with you and see if, we can, over, I'm over on the, well, it's so small down here, but I'm a little bit more west of where you are. And so we have a couple of places over there, people in the warm weather, people can walk over there, but in the cold weather,
Okay.
I mean, they can walk to South Street Seaboard. You guys live over on the east side, so you might have some suggestions.
Okay, all you gotta do is say, listen, you're gonna smoke that joint, you're gonna go down the block, by the time you come up, you got a roach in your head. Just throw it out,
Yeah, you just smoke it as you're walking. So you don't have any security outside.
They do, exterior checks, so they're not physically outside, they're in the building,
But they're out the door.
the around, so they do, come up inside.
Right. Yeah.
We allow the, every hour. Hourly.
Okay, very out. So that smoking was an issue outside. Yeah, go ahead.
Curfew?
Is there a curfew at your facility?
Curfew is the, being under the law fine.
So you do have a curfew?
Yes.
Why
Unless
did you?
they have a late pass and they're working, they have to show proof. And then we assess, we told their employer to see if it's actually accurate. They provide us with a schedule, and then we just give them a late pass depending on where they're working at and what time they're coming out.
7 days a week at Solana?
7 days.
So if somebody just comes back, they're just late, like at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm sorry? Right, but they're allowed to, at least they go to their room. Thank you.
I mean, they're adults. Yeah. It should be treated like children, they're adults, yeah. Anybody, committee, any other questions about security?
No, this is not about security, it's just, is this the same, building that was the Radisson Hotel?
Mhm.
used?
Yeah,
So we've had other facilities that
Yeah.
operated out of there. I didn't realize it was empty, actually. I thought that we still had, something happening there. So it's empty now?
No.
Oh, it isn't empty. So there are people there. That's what I thought. Yeah, okay, yeah. Are you just changing? Okay, you're just changing operators. Okay, got it.
I don't know if this might not come under security, but do they ever ask people to leave and under what circumstances?
Any part of the last person, there's access to the facility. We try to prevent them from coming into the facility, to be honest. So, but if they did enter in, we will ask them, planning to leave the facility.
But what about a resident?
The residents?
What about a resident? Yeah.
No, we're not asking, we're not asking anyone to leave the shelter unless, of course, their being there creates a nuisance. So, all of our residents are actually signing the neighbor policy, and we get everyone as an adult. But again, if we find that this person is habitually becoming a nuisance in the community, then perhaps that's not a good fit for that individual or that family, and we may have to transfer them elsewhere. But we are committed to providing services where they are. Continuity of these services are important, hence why we don't want to make arbitrary decisions to uproot someone out of shelter to just transfer them. But, if we feel that ongoing conversations are not working, perhaps Dr. Alice is not a good fit, then of course we will make that decision to transfer them.
Francis, and then.
So am I gonna feel secure in my room in terms of locks and stuff like that?
Yes, again, I'll have staff stationed on every floor. So, they will be able to monitor the floors.
And then I have my own pass key and
Well, we open up the rooms for the clients, so we don't give the clients their own separate fees.
So when I go to dinner, my room is open.
Your room is locked, well, she, every, your room, they used to lock the door, well, no, but other than that, no one have access besides, security or besides the employees to the facility have access to,
So, I mean, because that's, it's a big issue for people in terms of
They say they don't want to go
stuff
to the
getting,
shelter.
yeah, and stuff gets stolen and stuff like that. Are they allowed to? Another question.
No,
No, it has to do with where they live. Could they have certain things? Can they have a stereo, a TV?
no.
What TV? No stereo.
So let's keep in mind that
Turn it down low.
let's keep in mind that this is a temporary housing, right?
Right,
And as a temporary housing is, you're going, let's just take a hotel, right? You rent 3 rooms, you're out by 11 o'clock the next morning. In this case, is they're there, you're not, this is not your home. Our job is to place you in a home.
right.
This is temporary housing, right? And we have to treat it that way, right? You are gonna be safe when you walk through my hallways. Cause if not, somebody's gonna get fired, cause I don't play that. And I tell you this, if my staff mistreats a client, we got issues. We have issues. Because we have to respect each other from the maintenance guy all the way to the CEO. You treat everybody the same. Nobody's there to, I'm not there to, to put you down, to belittle you. That's not the way it works. So you are gonna be safe. For sure.
And everybody's an adult.
And we're all adults. Right?
No, actually, I'll piggyback on the temporary housing, and I know the goal is to find permanent housing.
Correct.
If it doesn't work out the best for some families, I'm not saying there should be a time limit, what is your, can somebody be there for years, or what is the kind of procedure?
Yeah, so family can't be sick.
Can, okay.
Yeah, so at the same time, that's where one of the families where we have tried every option we can to identify the best suitable housing for them that work for that home.
Right.
So if it needs to be where that person, we need to help them assist with getting employment, anything that we need to do.
But it's not like a time limit where.
No.
Okay.
It's not, it's temporary housing.
Right.
But we
I
can
understand.
just.
Of course.
pass them out.
But that's why William mentioned that they work so hard to connect them to vocational opportunities.
No, I know that's the goal, I was just,
Yeah.
nothing's gonna be 100%. Thank you.
Right, one of the things that I enjoy doing is actually walking onto the buildings and dressing down, talking to the clients, right? After 2 minutes or 3 minutes, they ask me, who are you? And I tell them who I am, and I say, what's your situation, how's things? And sometimes, you're not gonna get that person that's gonna wanna move. They're gonna feel comfortable, right? I'll give you a situation. We had a person at one of my buildings where I get this reports and I look at who's been there the longest. Well, it shows me numbers, right? Then I'll go to the PD and I said, tell me who's been here the longest, because I'm seeing this long-term status, right, as we call it. Let's see who's this person. One particular man, with it. Very nice guy, great family. But every apartment you showed him, he didn't want it. He was in our facility for quite some time. And then it clicked. I said, what happens when you're settled in one place, right? You already used to the neighborhood, right? We get very uncomfortable when we move outside because it's out of our comfort zone. I was able to speak to the housing specialist and say, let's find something in this area. Okay? Sure enough, the person moved.
Or when he goes to the job interview, he says, I live in the financial district.
Yeah, that's right.
I could always say I got a job there too.
Look, can we just talk ADA?
Yeah, ADA and
And food.
age range.
Well, they're all over 21.
I know they are, but what's the oldest?
Right now,
Currently in my shelter, you mean, or at this?
No,
point?
this
Is there a cap?
No.
21
no.
to something?
Right,
No.
correct, 21
Okay.
to something.
Because,
No, we don't.
Generation.
We'll take you all, we'll take them all.
So unlike single adult shelters, the adult family shelters, we don't have program specific shelters. So on the single adult side, we have shelters that cater to those that are general employment, mental health, MICA, substance use, veterans, and 55 plus, which I hate because that's one that is, 55. But, we consider that like the older,
Don't
so.
start, don't start.
But I feel the type of way with you. Trust me.
55, that's babies.
Yeah.
55, you're a baby.
But for adult families, we don't have program shelters, so everything is at that one location. So you're gonna have someone that may have a mental health issue, who has a substance use issue, who may be over 55, who may or may not be a veteran. So the adult family providers, they are a one-stop all as a shelter as it relates to our single adults. So there's no age, everyone is 21 plus at this adult family
So you
facility.
could have had people going for substance abuse or other things at this family shelter.
I didn't hear that. Mitch.
So at this family, maybe I missed, what you might have clarified it, at this shelter, that could include, people with possible, with substance abuse problems or mental health problems at the shelter.
There might be, but we also have other adult family providers who specialize in that. So we do have 4 maybe adult family shelters where we would place them because like BRC has a on-site facility. So if they have psychiatric nurse, so we would place them at
But I'm
that.
talking about the
location.
William, this one.
But this one does not.
Okay.
So we want to place individuals who will not need that level of
Sure.
services because we don't want, them to learn language.
Sure,
We want them to be able to thrive in that environment.
sure.
So let's talk ADA, accessibility and rooms and what's there for ADA.
So all the rooms are ADA in compliance.
And the entrances also?
We have also an elevator that comes from.
There are stairs, aren't there?
But there are stairs, but inside, if you take a peek inside, there is. Yes, ma'am.
No, it's around the corner. I think the entrance is around the corner.
Well, there's the main entrance but and then we have another entrance that has the ADA elevator or something.
And is there someone there to operate the?
Security
elevators?
guards, security guards will be there.
So do I have to come to the front and then request that you go around to meet me?
No, because we're gonna see you anyway, once you walk in. Because we're gonna be stationed right there.
And then when I'm in the facility, if I have a scooter or a wheelchair or.
Scooters are different story. And e-bikes and all that other stuff.
because
But-
No, not that kind of.
Oh, you're talking about electric chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like a wheelchair type of.
Absolutely, yes.
Like Betty has.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
electric
one of our-
wheelchair.
Oh, okay, you scared me for a second.
Some of those have the lithium battery.
Yeah, because some of those electric scooters have,
Yeah, you're not,
yeah. All right, so everything's ADA
Yes.
everywhere. I can go anywhere. I don't have any trouble getting in and out of shower. I can, okay.
No,
no?
that's different.
No.
ADA meaning ADA compliance in regards to if you're in a wheelchair, you go in the unit, turn around, but ADA in regards to the bathroom, totally different.
So
That's
what-
like the bars on the thing.
We only have 3 of those.
Well-
Not the same.
They have 3
So
what?
explain to me though, what's different about them?
Full ADA versus ADA is different. Full ADA meaning that the entire unit, you can actually
Right.
you have turn around, you can use the car, go in the shower, things like that. That's a full ADA. If you go in the sink, you can go right up to the sink, that's a full ADA unit.
And so, how many, you have only 3 units, but, so what's the family? So I know you were saying that you have, family, of 2 people or 3.
would be placed in one of those units based on need. So if it is, if it's say it's need and the composition size for the unit, then our hero system, our base control system would say, hey, we have a family for this unit, they would be placed there.
And all 3 of those units are the same size?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Inside.
When you hold them empty, like reserved until somebody.
Yes.
Just like a hotel, they have some just
Yeah.
aside.
Yeah, you just said that, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I know it's probably not possible, but.
See, what, oh,
That's
okay, so what else do you want to tell us? Well, you said you're opening.
21 clients at the facility. Sorry, 21 families at the facility.
Yeah.
The majority of the clients there are ranging between 21 and 65 right now. We don't have anybody over than 65. But officially, we will start receiving clients in the next few days, all the way until we're reached for 200 families.
Why aren't the other 70 something units?
Well, we just want to make sure that we ramp up the way that's standing for the staff and obviously the community as well. So being that we are moving families from other places and gardening folks come to the system, we just want to try to keep it controlled. So just maybe 5 to 8 families and maybe, once or twice a week, just that everybody can get familiar with the staff. If they are assessed probably as rival. So
That actually makes sense.
Yeah,
Instead
I
of moving 200,
Well, it's not 200 people.
I mean,
right? 'Cause
500,
it's 500 people.
Well,
right, but moving, I actually
So it does
agree with
make
that.
sense,
It makes
yeah.
sense to, little by little.
I just wanted to
get
know,
comfortable.
I wasn't disagreeing, I was
Yeah.
letting you know. And so I guess some of the other issues are, well, if they're working, they've got to know where transportation is. We have a good neighbor policy. That I don't remember. Do you remember how do we get the good neighbor policy out there? Also, we have a CAB. Do you have a good neighbor policy?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay, so maybe we could get a look at that. And then how, do you have a CAB? Do you have a community? Do you work with the community?
Right now,
Well, will you have a CAB?
we will.
Yes, and we'll work with you all and the
Yes.
elected officials office to drum up that tab.
Okay,
We'll have quarterly meetings.
because the other shelter that's on the other side from you, which maybe you'll have some work together.
Which is the reason why I asked the officer when it was precinct council. Because one of us will attend.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's, it's good. I'm on it. I'll be there most of the time, not all the time, but yeah. So, I don't know, members?
I don't know if it's in programming, but, the food. The schedule for it is.
Or when you had on special diets?
Streaming is pretty.
Right.
Hot meal.
Okay,
Breakfast is from 6 to 9. 6 to 9.
Yeah, 6 to 9. Lunch is from 12 to 3. And then dinner from 6 to 9.
We're allowed to bring food in.
Yes, we were not allowed to bring it up to you.
We will have a cafeteria. We do have a we
Oh, so
will have a
you
cafeteria.
can't have a little refrigerator in your room and have food?
They would need a reasonable accommodation.
I'm sorry?
They would need a reasonable accommodation to have a fridge.
Like
So-
if they have
They have
medicine.
something
or-
like the cold or something.
Yeah,
Correct.
because I have eye drops that have to be.
Right.
to be-
The cafeteria front, that you guys are already in operation, is there any construction that has to be done to the building? Security?
I'm sorry, what was the question? I didn't
If you're already operating, there's no cafeteria, the cafeteria will have to be built at some point, electric at some point. Are there any significant construction components to getting the shelter online, further online?
So right now, the cafeteria that they actually, it's already done. They're just waiting for the TCO to come in,
What's TCO?
the temporary certificate of occupancy. Right, so they're waiting for that to come in. Once that comes in, then, we can start.
So you have to do some construction?
So all this has been done.
Yeah, it's already done. It's just waiting for the building to fall. I have to.
Wait up.
do there have to be a lot of changes from the way it was constructed? previously?
Well, there was a restaurant there.
Okay.
So they gutted that out. They made it very beautiful.
Okay.
And, I have to say that, I'm excited. And I'm sure that whoever moves in there is excited as well.
Because I mean, there were
Was that
other
the sushi restaurant?
organizations operating.
There was that place Bailey's.
No, but I mean, the
Who's that
flat
name of the
beds were
restaurant?
operating.
I don't know if they sold sushi.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
No, but I'm saying that since they were a hotel,
Right,
it's been a shelter.
right.
So,
So the restaurant wasn't being utilized at all. It was separate, but now that we have the whole building in control now, they
so
built it out.
even when it was a shelter, they weren't
Right, so what the
using,
Black Vets had, they were utilizing the kitchen that was there, right? Like refrigerator, for storage, et cetera. In terms of the food, they would serve food like that, like a side of the restaurant part that wasn't in use for clients to take food back to their.
So like it wasn't a sit-down
Correct.
diner,
Right.
dining area. Okay.
So he was just saying that they updated that space and now it is. Like,
Oh, cool.
Yes,
And you'll have, you can accommodate people with special food needs, celiacs and
Yes.
gluten,
yes.
high blood pressure and.
Oh,
Maybe.
Halal meals, kosher, you know.
Yes,
yeah.
culture,
Yes.
exactly.
Do you have, it sounds like you have a lot of data, but what is the average stay? in the-
So for right now, our adult families, and to Mr. Prince's point, if a family comes in and they are, forward and they are working with the staff to kind of go on to that next step, right now, we're at about 6 to 8 months. However, we do have more families that have more challenging issues kind of working, right? So some may have some medical issues. They may, they may need an ADA unit to move into.
But there is an average, right?
Yeah, right now, the average is 6 to 8 months, but that doesn't apply for every family.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's
pretty good,
but they're also contending, in addition to what Daniel said, they're contending with the tough housing, right? 1.4% vacancy rate, so they have to,
That's crazy.
No?
they're faced with that challenge as well. So 6 to 8 months.
No, in light of that, it's really kind of amazing.
They have, that's good with them that are like engaged and really want to kind of move on. So
Don't get me wrong, and, people don't want to be there.
No.
So, people fall into hard times,
Yeah.
right? I mean, when people
Everybody
talk about
agrees.
shelters, they get scared, their hair stand up. It's not all about that. It's not, any of us in here, hopefully not, 2 paychecks away of being homeless.
I was just saying, that by the
Okay.
grace of,
So,
Mhm.
And God forbid, we have to knock on wood that we have a place to go home to,
Exactly.
right? Our job is to
And
make
food
sure
on
that
our
they have a
table.
home as well. That's what it's about, is about service.
Mhm.
It's about the service that you provide. Will you have challenges? Absolutely. Nobody can cover the sky with their hands, but we have a great team. I get involved a lot. They tell me I shouldn't, but I do, but, I have to say that we have some wonderful staff. And I'm on call 24 hours.
That's what I was gonna say, so.
Yeah.
We would like to look at and talk about your good, not tonight, your good neighbor policy, so you can provide us with that.
Okay.
You have a slide on,
Okay.
wanna talk about?
Yeah.
So with the good neighbor policy, we always encourage our clients not to panhandle. We try to let them know, please do not hang out in front of the businesses that are around the area. Do not smoke around our facility or even in front of certain buildings that are around the area. Disorderly conduct, somebody mentioned radios, even inside the facility, we don't allow certain speakers because they're loud. And some clients will play their music extremely loud and it bothers other clients. So we do, and my case managers meet with the clients every 2 weeks, and all of those rules and regulations are addressed with them in their IOPs. We also let them know that illegal use of drugs is not allowed in the facility or around the area as well. We know that the park is right across the street, so we also let them know to try not to hang out in that little park, only because, also because the school, the preschool is right inside of that park. But for the most part,
I'm sorry, that's public, it's a public space, they're allowed to be there.
no, we don't tell them not to
Okay.
be there. What we tell them is to try not to be disorderly, try not
Right.
to smoke in front of the children.
Right, but please let them know they are allowed to be.
No,
there.
they do,
Yeah.
they go there. They have little tables where they go and eat their lunch.
Good.
For the most part, majority of our clients now are above 16 years old and they barely go out of their rooms. They don't get any trouble at all. So we have.
I mean, we welcome them to the neighborhood, they're our neighbors now.
Yeah.
And we are their
Thank you
neighbors.
so much.
You were gonna have some people that will not welcome them, but as a whole, the community board
Thank you.
welcomes them to the
This
neighborhood.
group of families that we find, we received them January 31st. Out of the 21 families we have, we already have 7 families linked to housing.
Good.
Whether it's Housing Connect, City FEPS, some of them are reunifying with your family member. So we do have already pending families to be moving out, and maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
And we often, not often, but sometimes get, people would like to donate, so,
Yes.
we can.
Clothes and stuff like
clothes,
that.
food, Whatever, so if we can get that dialogue going, that would be great.
We do
And-
accept donations.
So
I'm
somebody
sorry?
would just come to the front of the entrance and,
They'll come and they inquire and they'll ask us
Okay.
and we let them know. So we'll coordinate a date and they'll come and they drop off. A lady dropped off soap, hair shampoo,
Right.
conditioners. soap.
but besides that, do you guys provide that for the people also?
Yes.
Yes.
I think the church, adjacent to us has been very generous to us.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, the church, right?
They've been
across
very
the street.
generous.
Our Lady of Victory.
Yes, very,
Good.
very.
Good, good. Yeah.
Gambling.
Gambling?
Gambling on the living.
No. But she's trying to include that, I think.
So put it up on.
No spades or anything like that?
No, it's not-
That's part of like.
No dice.
No dice? No,
Card Monte.
we're not gonna tolerate any of that. If they wanna gamble, we'll tell them, we'll send them to the resort up in Rockaway up there in Queens and those.
Yeah, if they go to Aqueduct, they go to
Aqueduct,
Aqueduct.
yeah.
Right.
So there's four levels.
Oh, fan the jewel or whatever.
They, so they have, I want to say, for lack of a better word, huddle rooms where, you know, say a family wants to go downstairs and play spades and they want to get together with another family.
Well, we're gonna have the cafeteria, so that's gonna be,
That's gonna be the meeting.
it's big, believe me when I tell you.
They can go play dominoes and stuff.
Yeah, we will have a monthly calendar with activities and. Yes,
It's
But
like
you
a
know,
like a
seniors,
community room.
yes. We'll have
I'm gonna speak for the
play
seniors.
Yeah, play bingo,
Right.
different things and.
Yeah, seniors wanna have things to do. You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like clients about
Huh?
saving their money.
And most importantly, I think, you know, if you have any extra resources that we could utilize to
We will.
help the clients,
We
the
will.
residents that we have.
Thinking Rosa, in terms of, they want to do any gardening and somebody.
Well, we can talk to Rose, is one of our, she lives right down the street on Pine.
Okay.
She's on the other, Pine in Nassau. So we can ask her, if because she's, and
Would that,
she's
you know,
helped to get the park open underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. What's the Empire Park?
no,
Gotham Park.
What are some of the activities that you guys, you know, like, whether it's recreational, or I know you were talking about educational stuff and technical stuff, but like other type of activities that might be, you know, accessible, you know, them joining like,
Well, that varies because you would have to ask, what would you like to do, right? What I like, you might not like, right? If they want to play a game card, we'll have one. Right? Some might want to just,
well, nothing's like set up like that, like an exercise.
at this moment, right now,
Yeah.
because we only have 21
Also
families,
just started.
we're just getting started.
Okay.
But all of that will be assessed and all of that will be,
Have you also worked with Trinity Church?
the one that's on,
You look right to, yeah, Trinity Church.
I have.
Because they have a lot of, they have, I don't know, Pilates on Tuesday mornings, they have exercise classes, they have, well, you don't have any kids. They have, a crochet and knitting group, ladies group, all those men are welcome. They've got all kinds of stuff at Trinity, so please reach out to Trinity Church and see what they offer. What else can we talk to you about? I don't know, we'll try to, but also the main thing is to get the cab going. So so that we can have these kinds of discussions about what's available, what we can do to help you, what we, you know, if we see a problem. Again, we try to have if someone comes to the police council meeting, that's a good relationship. But we also have the police come every couple of months to our meetings, so if there's something that you want to come and discuss, or hear from them about it, and complaints that might have taken place. I don't know, committee, can you think of anything else?
the rooms have windows, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Do they have
It was a
bathrooms?
hotel.
They retrofitted.
Do you do fire, because we had an
Fire drill.
issue today about the fire drill, and the neighbor could hear the sirens going off.
Yeah, fire drill? Yeah.
How often?
But, it can we do this to.
3 times a month.
Because on your block, you don't have anyone, but right across, you know, where the church is, all of those are residential buildings.
Right.
And on Pines, residential buildings. So, this happened to be at the shelter that's over on 105. The neighbor is abutting them, they're 109, and they could hear the fire alarms going on.
Right.
So you don't have anyone exactly, your walls are not, you know, connected to a residence. Although you might be complaining about the facility around the corner, what's the name of, you know, the place where they have parties? No, well, yes, but no, but on the same block as they are. Right on Wall
Is it
Street.
the old Sequoias?
I don't know the name of what it was, but you know, it's right around, it was the money museum. Where we had, yeah,
Oh, well, we had meetings.
yeah, but the facility, so let us know
Okay.
if you have noise complaints, because your residents should have a peaceful experience, you know?
Absolutely.
So I can't think of anything else. I mean, you know, there's always complaints to us about traffic.
Oh, I have a question. So, there is an adult, family, a mother and an adult child, at Albany Plaza. They've been unhoused for a couple of years. They're pretty entrenched. They're, you know, well known in the community. What would you say to them to try to convince them to come to your facility?
Well, for starters, they would have to be willing to come into shelter. Period. I think we would reach out to our street outreach team, because they're the ones that do these street, you know, touch base with those that are unhoused, that are actually on the street. So we would see whether or not they have any history on them. I'm sure they would know exactly what I'm talking about if I were to send them to exactly where you're, described. And based on whatever information we have on them, we would see how we could convince them to go into the adult family intake center so that they can be assessed adequately and placed into shelter. So if we were able to say, hey, since this facility is opening, or maybe they're not aware that that's an adult family shelter, we could say, you know, we're able to either bypass intake depending on their circumstances and say we can place you at this location since it's an area that they're familiar with. So if we use the analogy that William gave, that sometimes people are, you know, entrenched in their location. So perhaps they would want to stay in that neighborhood, but they would be willing to go into, you know, Dr. Alexander because it's in that. So if we having a conversation to see if they were willing to come into the facility.
And maybe they hadn't been wanted to be separated in the past where an adult and then an adult child, they were afraid to be separated, and this could be a perfect
Did you get
situation.
the address?
I was gonna come and speak to them.
Yeah.
What's the location, Zach?
Commitment that they could be made that offer, that would be great.
Zach, could you give them the location?
Yeah, they're gonna talk.
Albany Plaza generally.
No, but what's the range more or less of the kid? Of the child,
How old?
more or less.
40?
Oh,
He's well over 21.
oh, okay. I missed that part.
No, so I will connect with you and if you're able to give me the team out there and we can see how we can engage and offer that particular location as a viable place for the community.
Great.
I'm really happy to hear that people
I've
had.
this before, so I know that family has been engaged, but we will continue to try.
Yes.
So Sonia, she will make sure that everything.
Good. I'm just happy to hear that animals are allowed, because that was one of our big issues. Is that many people don't want to go in the shelter because they can't take their animals, and I know that they have to be technically service animals. But it's really important that people, they're part of their family.
Emotional
Yeah.
support.
They're their family,
No, I've been there.
you know? So,
Yeah.
anything else?
That's true.
So there was one thing that I know you spoke to, Tammy about, Jocelyn, about the address being public. So, I mean, we all know where it is. We all know the address. We've had shelters there for a long time. So you will see the address published when we give our report at full board meeting. Full board meeting is the last Tuesday of the month. So if anyone's ever interested in coming to full board meeting, just because you're part of the community, you might want to attend full board committee, see some of the issues that are going on in the committee, in the community, because we have a lot of, because of Sandy, even though Sandy was like 12 years ago, we still have a lot of infrastructure projects that are going on, and all the places that we would normally say, go, now that the weather's nice, go and sit, they're being closed off, the parks are being closed, access to the water is being closed. So there are things like that happening, and then you just might want to know other things that are going on in the neighborhood.
I mean, it's very interesting that the officer said everything. I thought this is, like, trying, and I'm like, hearing all that stuff.
Well, you were surprised that
Down
you told
here,
us all
yeah.
this?
Oh, down here, like, okay.
Not everybody that lives down here is from me. There are regular people down here.
So,
And our precinct is very cooperative.
so I hear you on the address point. We will flag that for our general counsel, but we have recently, taken a closer look at our policy. It's always been our policy that we don't disclose addresses publicly, or in writing. So we will take that back to our general counsel, have a conversation with them on it. But our policy, and we would prefer to not have our shelter addresses published, anyway. So we
The
hear
only
you.
problem is, it makes it difficult to work with, in a good way, the community, if people are not aware that the facility is in their community. I know it makes it hard in a bad way, it makes it easier for people who are not going to be receptive to the shelter. But it's something that we've always known, we've always had information, except for domestic violence shelters, we've always known where the shelters are.
Just to play devil's advocate, if the address wasn't published and years go by and nobody even knows the shelter, I mean, somebody could say, I didn't even know there was a shelter
Right,
there.
which is
That's,
good.
right, that's what I'm saying. So that would be like the best of the other side of the book.
So I do want to say to that point, since you mentioned it, we do have those who would have who may have been a victim of domestic
Right.
violence. For example, if it was in the Bronx, we may send them to Manhattan. Another reason as to why we don't want that published, because
That's
we
the
don't
reason.
want that person who is running from somewhere in another borough, that now they can say, well, this may be where this person is located if they know where the address is. So we do have those who are victims of domestic violence,
Yeah.
even though they're not in a DV shelter, because again, our DV shelters are timed out. So after X amount of months, they time out of a DV shelter and they tend to come into our facilities. So they very well may be a number of individuals who have a domestic violence history placed in Dr. Alice.
That actually,
I mean, I realize it's a difficult situation, but from the community point of view, it's also, the community wants to know what's going on in their community, so. Yeah.
you wouldn't think that would supersede, I don't know.
Doesn't have to be the exact address, I guess, but
Well, that's
we've
what we're-
always known
we're
addresses.
requesting the intersection or.
Pat, you wouldn't think that, like the point that, I forget your name, but so she made, might, I'm sorry? Ms. Russell. Ms. Russell might supersede the right for the community to know because that's a really specific situation.
But we have it published already, don't we? Isn't it on here?
I don't think it's on this agenda.
Well, former Radisson Hotel.
We know where it is.
Okay.
We know where it is. It's, I mean, this community tends to be fairly aware of what's going on. And those of you who have worked with us before, Jamar, we tend to be, not just the community. And the community, with whether it's PTA, I mean, the hospital, everybody knows what's going on pretty much. And Morton,
Yeah, I know, I mean, aware of what's going on in.
That was the site of a fairly
like the
controversial
response something on
shelter
that.
in the prior mayoral administration. When did it start? Was it start with Adams or even before that?
What?
The previous,
When did what stuff?
when they had the sighting of the shelter at the Radisson Hotel.
COVID.
Yeah, it was.
No, but I thought it was before COVID, there was something,
Before COVID, something was supposed to go there, but then nothing did, it was fought. And then
It's
when
been
COVID
many
happened,
years.
they just pushed people in there because of that executive order.
I think that was when de Blasio was the mayor, right? It was Adams.
I don't know. Doesn't
I think
matter.
it was.
No, a while ago.
It's been a while, 5 or 6
People knew
years.
There was a shelter there and there was a lot of controversy over it and ultimately it opened and.
And there was no problem. So, but let's, fingers crossed that it stays that way. And,
I was expecting people from the community.
yeah, I thought people would be
No,
coming to the community.
and that's the point I was gonna bring up, you guys, and I'm sure we have a very active,
Mm,
concerned, public, parenting group.
Well, no, this is not the same as the
I
person,
am, like,
that's
they are.
children.
You know, it says in
They are not
families on the agenda, and again, the community
It's not the same as 105.
asking for adult families for like, probably at least a decade.
Yeah.
Because again, we just keep getting a redundancy
Right.
of
The single
single
men.
males.
Well, 105 is, and it's men and single men.
Yeah, but particularly on this side, like,
If I recall the history, there was a shelter on the Upper West Side and they were gonna close the shelter on the Upper West Side
Yeah,
and they were moving the.
That was during,
residents.
that was during COVID,
That was-
right?
Yeah, that was
yeah.
this location.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it's not like it's.
And-
it's a
and there's-
secret.
Also, it's very narrow down here, but there is a difference between the east side and the west side.
There were people who actually brought lawsuits to try to stop it, and then the court threw the lawsuits out and
Yes.
don't rule. So people down here in the community, when you say the Radisson Hotel, they know what we're talking about.
What were you saying, Chris?
I think then somebody needs to be present at a board meeting, because when you give your report and they see, people see the agenda, there may be a couple people there asking.
Well, if they have something to say, they can say it. And like I said, if you wanna send a representative to the full board meeting, you can sign up. I think you have to sign up before the meeting.
Sign up
You
in
wanna talk,
advance to
if you want, if you want.
2 minutes.
Sign up online.
What's the rule?
5 minutes before 6.
5 minutes before six, you have to call in and.
Or by 5 minutes before 6, you have to have signed in.
Sign-in sheet.
Yeah.
that's-
Signed
They
up.
cut off at 5
Signed up to
minutes to
speak,
6,
if you want to speak.
If you don't wanna speak and you just wanna come and sit and listen,
Being held here or no?
19th floor.
Bigger
The borough
The bigger
president's
room.
office.
Yeah.
So that's where we welcome you. We're
Thank
happy
you so
that
much
you
again.
came to speak with us. Thank you for all the information, for being open with us about everything. We've tried to be as open as we can with you. You may have some pushback.
And as expected.
Yeah.
You have a card? I mean, on your personal.
So whenever you want to get the CAD going, let us know how you want to do that, so we can get members. So a few of us on the community board will be on, and then there'll be some neighbors who live in close proximity, which probably will want to be on. The same as 105.
Let's say in the.
I
think the hard started.
Okay, good,
Requests,
good.
I didn't tap on Zach, but,
Do it second.
And you're spoken,
Cycle
and
that.
you're gonna communicate
Yeah.
with Tammy, so good, good. All right. I didn't ask, was there anything you want to ask us?
Lottery tickets.
I know the numbers, I'll tell you later.
Sounds like a plan.
No gambling.
Nothing else? Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything there.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting.
Same here, thank you.
Bushwick?
No, well, I went to, elementary school in Bushwick, from Bed-Stuy,
Are you from Boston?
right, but I went to,
We did a lot of stuff up in.
yes, 274 Bushwick Avenue.
That was my school.
That was your school?
That was my school.
Yeah, but you're a lot younger.
Right next to Kosciuszko Street.
Yes, yes, yes. And then I went to junior high in Enrico Fermi on Star Street.
2011?
Yeah. And my dad's precincts were always, my dad was a cop.
Well, look, there's a 2011 page
Yeah.
on Facebook. You can join.
111.
Yeah,
For
111.
Enrico Fermi?
Yes.
In high school?
Yeah.
I don't do.
I actually am the administrator for that page.
It's funny, I don't do any of this. So
No,
I'm
no, no,
old.
but
I
it's
don't
great,
do any
because I
of
have
the
people that
social-
said, anybody from 68, anybody from 79, like,
Damn, I graduated.
yeah, no.
High school in 70, high school in 60. I went to high school in 60.
Okay,
Yeah.
what high school?
Art and design.
Art and design. I went to Bushwick High School.
Yeah. So all my friends, we all went to 274.
Yeah.
And everybody went to Bushwick, but two of us went to art and design.
When we moved into the Bushwick area, it was back in 1975,
Okay, that's when we were moving out.
when Knickerbocker was a two-way street, Irving Avenue was a two-way.
Myrtle was
My daughter lives
elevated.
around there.
Myrtle was the elevated.
Yeah.
I went to Pratt.
Bushwick Avenue was the Fifth Avenue in Brooklyn.
But I would-
Charging too much rent right now, but.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And I went to Pratt. It's ridiculous how much money people are paying for places that we
I
used to
know.
live in. Is the library still there?
Yes, it is,
How cool.
right on the corner of D-Town.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's,
That was my whole hood. I was there last year. I
okay,
happened to be in Brooklyn and I went by my house. It's
Right.
66 Patchen Avenue, went by the
Okay.
house to look and see. The neighborhood was real different, boy.
totally different.
Totally
In
different.
fact, my former chair of the board he's a former administrator for what they call Eastern District High School. Now it's called Progress.
They
It was a
eliminate,
boys and high, boys and girls high.
Boys and girls are on further down.
But, well, see, when I knew it was just boys high.
Right.
they eliminated all those high schools.
Yes.
My father went to Boys High in the 1930s.
Yeah, boys, well, yeah.
So
Actually,
my,
no,
my
the
problem
20s rather, not the
my
30s.
problem is to go back to 274 and buy all the kids pizza.
Oh,
That's,
Let
that's,
me know when
that's-
you're doing that.
yeah, that's my thing. I like to give, I like to give back. That's my thing.
I'm trying to think of his name, he's one of our council members, and his mother, Barbara Riotto, I can't think of what his name is now, I have to think, because I'm having a senior moment. I went up to him at a meeting and I said, because his mother is a teacher
Yeah,
in fourth grade, who sent my girlfriend and I to
yes.
the art program that allowed us to then go to art
Right.
design, which totally changed our lives.
Are you familiar with the elected officials on that side?
In Brooklyn?
Yes.
No, but this was an elected official in Manhattan. His mother taught at 274.
Really?
And she's the one that got Elizabeth and I to go to art design.
Well, when I get my stuff together,
Mhm.
I'll
Let
give
me
you-
know,
I'll
please.
definitely let you know
Because I ain't gonna be on Facebook,
I,
so let me know.
that's my mission. is to
You
give-
can put right in me and I'll give you my information, my deeds.
There's a conference happening this weekend in Albany.
For,
It's the Black and Asian and Hispanic Caucus.
oh, okay,
The guy got it, it's, everybody's gonna be up there.
okay.
Was it at the middle school?
No, it was at elementary school, 274 is our elementary school.
Elementary?
Yes, it's another man. That was my first, and then I went to 123 and 274, I have a mission.
And that library,
Yeah.
that was the first thing my parents did was to get us library cards.
It's a pleasure meeting you all.
Same
You
here.
thank you for the invite. And we're open, we have an open.
Okay, so.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
We'll have somebody at the board meeting.
Sounds great. Good night, neighbors.
Good night.
With the concept of open house. Before they get loaded.
No, they have to. It's gonna be open now. Yes. There's been some sort of shelter there for at least 6 years.
If they don't.
Yes.
No, he said that they looked and they saw it's been there.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, we gotta turn the thing on.
Oh,
when Adams moved in,
Um,
that this is gonna be a shelter.
wait, hold on. Zach? This is still recording.
Meeting is almost adjourned.
Yeah, I don't know how to, I don't know how to stop it. Anybody notice? Well, does anybody have any topic that they want to bring for any other, for the next? I will not be here for the, May, did I say May and June? I won't be here for May and June. So it's all up to Mariama. She may cancel
Or
me.
June and July, like you said.
Maybe it's June and July. I won't be here for June and July. So, yeah. I'll be here.
So today was supposed to be Stonewall, the gay,
Now that they put the flags back.
the gay club was supposed to be their endorsement. But because of the state budget not being done yet, they pushed it out a week. Well, whatever. It's public. They pushed it out a week. So it's, the 22nd. So then that, it was created and able to,
It's the same day as the DI, isn't it the DID?
I don't know.
Okay.
He might have put it on board.
No,
No, it's going.
that's a countdown. Really?
Is anybody even on though?
No, I don't know. Recording is in progress. I have to stop the thing.
Can we just act off?